I've been thinking the last couple of days of how I would measure the success or failure of these 42 days. The biggest thing that I want for you is that by the end of these 6 weeks together, and after you start building your own Zettelkasten, you won't ever have to ask anyone else for the answers. I mean that. All I'm walking you through is a simple and lightweight structure that happens to work extremely well with the technology within Rome. The concepts that Sunke talks about in his book being applied to a closure-based application that does an excellent job of being a frictionless tool for writing. That's all this is. But I have to remind you that a Zettelkasten is highly individualized, highly personal, and it's incredibly idiosyncratic. That's the only way it works because it will bend and mold into what we need from it. See, the concepts may seem foreign, but the application is dead simple. Let me say that again. The rudimentary concepts are the hardest to grasp when holding on to these old ways of thinking about note-taking. Yet, when we embrace this new way, everything becomes this simple, thoughtless process that promotes more effective note-taking. It's transformative. And from my experience, the only way to get anyone to transform is to allow for them to do it on their own. What I want to focus on today is something that will carry over for the next couple of weeks. It's a daily habit, but it's important. I want you to start tracking yourself. Tracking your progress over time will show us a pattern when we prepare our individualized workflows for week 6. See, you can't just adopt and adapt what I do because where, when, and how I do things will not apply to your personal intellectual autobiography. I don't know if there is, but I'm pretty sure there's no workbook for how to write an autobiography. Well, let's walk through some things in the shared graph now. Let's fire up Rome. And by the way, I think we fixed it. The shared graph ought to show up in your shared with me list in the left sidebar. Do check, but if you don't see it populating in the next 24 hours, shoot me a DM on Twitter and we'll get you sorted. Okay, let's head over to your page. And let's make a spot for this. I like to have the 3 dashes to create a divider just because it's easy to click on it to enter to make a new line right below it. Let's do double open brackets to create a new page and first name, last name, and then hit slash to create a namespace. Don't worry about the technicalities of a namespace page. Just know that it's another way to organize things. And let's type daily habit, great, and create the page. Hit escape twice to exit the block, and let's open that in the sidebar by shift clicking on it. Perfect. Same thing here, 3 dashes to create a divider, and let's fire off the template. I've got a placeholder for the date and timestamps, so let's go ahead and fire those off. And now we've got this template. Basically what I did was make a table. I really don't like focusing much on things that don't benefit a Zettelkasten, but essentially it's a down and dirty way to have things look kind of pretty. You've got 3 headings: source of the fleeting note, what tools were used, what tools were around, and when did I have about 25 minutes to write. With all the options in each column, by the way, just check all that apply. Because week 6 is all about workflow, I want you to start tracking when, where, and how you can best fit this into your life. But we need a starting point. That's what this is about. So every day when you start the next daily lesson, just go into this page and quickly track the last 24 hours. Or if you'd like, do it just before bed while it's still fresh in your mind. Or if you want to be an overachiever, do it every time you want to capture a fleeting note. I mean, you don't even have to actually capture a fleeting note. Just track it for now. By the time we get to week 6, we'll have accumulated enough information to figure out a personalized workflow, focusing on how we capture, what we capture with, and when the best time to process things will be. That's it. I still can't believe they have a book on how to write an autobiography.